You are listening to I Am Refocused Radio with your host, Shamaya Reed. This show is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. And now, here's your host, Shamaya Reed.
Hey, welcome to I Am Refocused Radio, man. We are here once again, and today we have another special guest. We're going to talk to the one and only Jennifer Otter Bickerdike. She is the author of a new, amazing book, Being Britney, Pieces of a Modern Icon. First and foremost, I want to say welcome to the show, Jennifer. How you doing this morning?
I am doing fantastic, even better with that amazing sexual chocolate voice. Woo! Woo!
And I appreciate that. This book, talking about on fire, this book is on fire too. It goes in a lot of places that is very important for culture, if you will. So if you will, tell us a little bit what inspired you to write this book on Britney Spears.
Well, Shemana, thank you so much for saying that, because one thing that has been frustrating is people are like, oh, it's just a biography on Britney Spears. And the thing that's so important about Britney is if people, aka the record industry, the media, if we could have created another Britney, we would have. Britney is a phenomena like no other. And the reason I did the book, this might sound strange, I had just finished a manuscript of another book on a woman named Nico, who is best known for being in the post-punk band The Velvet Underground. And when I finished that book, I realized I had stripped away a lot of the mythology of Nico and gotten to the bottom of a lot of myths about Nico and found out things that weren't true. And I thought, who is someone that we feel like we know so well, but doesn't have a book about them? And who else could I explore the mythology around? And I could not believe it, Shemaya, that there had not been a really thorough, culturally relevant book on Britney. And that's why I decided to do the book on Britney. So that was the genesis of the text.
And in the book, you really hit on everything. The process for her becoming a star. You talk about, her hit songs. Everyone knows, Baby One More Time line is the most iconic line, in a while. So it's like a lot of things are being explored. You also talk about freeing Britney and just basically giving her justice as far as allowing her name not to be just in the negative tabloids, but to be remembered years from now.
Yeah. And something, Shemaya, that was really, I think, an important point is I am a complete and utter nerd. And what I mean by that is the first place that I went to look to research this project was, I live in London now, but I went to the British Library and I thought, oh, there's going to be all kinds of newspapers and magazines and thoughtful texts written about Britney. But you really kind of strike a really important point here, and that is everything, for the most part, that's been written about Britney is in what we call the yellow press, the tabloids. And I found that really kind of depressing and interesting at the same time. And I wanted to kind of take her out of the tabloids. And people are fascinated and repulsed by Britney, I think, in equal measures. And it definitely has to do with class. I mean, America is very much based on class and race in so many ways. And Britney Spears is a perfect archetype of both of those things in play at the same time. And I do talk quite a bit about that in the book. And I think that is one of the main reasons that she is so relevant today as she was, 20 years ago when she burst onto the scene still. And that's one of the main things I really go into it deeply. Yeah, we are talking about the songs. We are talking about her beginnings, where she is now. But we look at how those different parts of her life kind of contribute to the wider society, the way that we react to things, and the way that we view the world through the lens of Britney.
And also in the book, you mentioned how she struggled with PPD. Real quick, while we have you on the show, tell the audience a little bit what is PPD and how she had to get through that situation.
I love that you really picked up on that, Shemaya. Thank you so much. And, that's postpartum depression. And one of the things, and I have to say, I mean, you look far too young to have been around when Britney had her different mental health breakdowns. But I was very much in the music business. I was the head of marketing at Interscope Geffen A&M. at the time when Britney was going through a lot of those tribulations. And I have to say, like, I was just laughing along. That's something I'm very ashamed of. I was just like, oh, another folly of Britney's. But when we look at the symptoms that Britney was exhibiting, it really was postpartum depression. A lot of the issues she was having are classic postpartum depression. It's something we definitely did not talk about in the early 2000s, early to mid 2000s. And I don't think it's something we talk about enough now either. And literally, I was shocked, Shemaya, when I started researching the book. You look at the different things that Britney was going through: depression, mood swing, just losing weight, acting out, and then you take the postpartum depression symptoms, and they're mirroring each other. It was just absolutely shocking. I'm like, how come nobody pulled this up? How come nobody had I don't know. It's almost like it was more fun, and it definitely sold more papers to just think, oh, Britney's gone crazy, than it was to have a little of empathy for this young mom.
Once again, true honor talking to our special guest for today, Jennifer Otter Bickerdike, and her new book, Being Britney, Pieces of a Modern Icon. I mean, this is a teaser because there's like 10,000 other questions I could have asked you. But before we let you go, what would you like the readers to take away from your book?
Even if you're not a Britney Spears fan, I think this is a book about American culture and how we've exported our values and ideas to the rest of the world. And that's why I think it's an important book, not necessarily because of Britney, but how Britney is a symbol of America in a lot of ways. And what does that mean? And I mean this in terms of everything from sexuality to, if we look at Roe versus Wade just being overturned, in that constitutional right, Britney touches on every single part of, I think, the things that really what it means to be American in a lot of ways, in a way that really nobody else does. And that's what I'd like people to take away from reading the book.
When listening to Army Focus Radio, talking to Dr. Jennifer Otter Bickerdike, the rock and roll culture historian and author herself, talking about her new amazing book, Being Britney, Pieces of a Modern Icon. I want to say thank you for taking time out of your schedule to talk to us today.
Thank you so much, my love.
I Am Refocused Radio is brought to you by Foo 4 Star and Holy Crab. Foo 4 Star is a family-owned Asian restaurant in San Antonio, Texas. We have been a local favorite for Asian cuisine for over 10 years. With nothing but full smiles and fast service, you'll be leaving satisfied. Come on in for some authentic Vietnamese food. Holy Crab is one-of-a-kind Cajun Creole-style seafood restaurant located in Universal City, Texas. We offer traditional seafood items as well as chicken and steak. We also offer seafood boils. Come give us a try. You won't be disappointed. You can find these two eateries in Universal City, Texas at 2921 Pat Booker Road.